Hey guys, so I just wanted to make this quick video on how to navigate Schoology. I know some people are having problems, finding their assignment, knowing how to submit them, things like that. So I hope this is going to be helpful. You should be able to see my screen here. I'm going to log in with a student login so that you will see the same thing on your child's account. Okay. So the first thing to note is whenever they log on, this is going to be their first screen. This is where the instructors can post updates, important things that you need to know. So this morning and every day I kind of come on and post a little like, today is, Wednesday, and then I'm telling you what color folder that you need to look for, because in a second I'll show you I have my assignments and folders color coordinated, so they're kind of easier to know which ones to do on what days. So that's the first thing to note is read your updates first. If your teacher needs to tell you something important, then they will post it there in the updates. So next thing is here are your courses. Okay, so these are all the classes that your child is assigned into. So they do have planning classes on here as well. They are required to do one of those planning. Well, the planning courses have put one assignment in that the kids need to do a week. So like they have music, art, computer, and you'll go in and submit work the same way that you submit it in any of my classes here. But so let me go in and show you. So I'm going to go to English here. Okay, so this is what they'll see first that comes up. So this is all their assignments for the week for English, and I have them, they're color coordinated. So Monday is pink, and Monday is pink in all of my classes. So English, language arts, math, science, social studies, and health. So if we click here on the Monday folder, so this is what the students were expected to do on Monday, March 23rd. Their first assignment was to read A Tree is Growing. Now, if I click on that assignment, I'll be able to read the whole assignment. Okay, so here's the assignment. So let's read our next story. A Tree is Growing on page 92 to 115. You may either use the online book, link below, or listen and follow along with the story as it is being read to you on YouTube. So here are the links here. This is just directions on where to go once you click on the online reading book. So if I click here, this will bring up the online reading book, and we're in book 2. And these directions were again on the assignment. So here's the online reading book. I'm going to click on contents. This is lesson 18, and then click on A Tree is Growing. And then here is the story. And they navigate using these arrows here. They can go forwards, they can go backwards. What's really nice is on the online textbook, this will actually read it to them. So if they click the little speaker beside, it will read and it will highlight as it's reading, so they can easily follow along. I know you guys can hear that.
A giant tree may look as if it has always been big.
So that's kind of nice because then it keeps them on track and it highlights where it's reading. So that was one option to read the story. The second option was I put a link to a YouTube video here.
A Tree is Growing by Arthur Doros.
And again,
illustrated.
This one will read it to them.
See that a tree is growing as you watch buds on the branch.
But it doesn't highlight where it's reading. So the other one's kind of nicer, but they can still follow along with this one. Or if they want to listen and they have the reading book at home, they're welcome to do that as well. So now once they've completed that assignment, once they've listened to and read their story, I ask my students to either comment below. So like you can post a comment here. So like I could say, I read my story, and then I can post. Or, which this is probably what I'm going to have most of my students do next week, because we're, still learning how to use this website. So comments may not be the best for that, but probably next week I'm going to have you make a submission. So that's going to be over here. It says submissions. Now, I've already resubmitted something. But you would just go to submit assignment is what it would say over there. And then your child can either type a response, so you can type, I read my story, and then you can submit it that way. Or your child can even do a voice recording or an audio recording. So if they click on this little microphone here, that would bring it up, and they can either do an audio recording or they can do a video and an audio recording. And those are kind of nice sometimes because a lot of my students have kind of been into those. So it's kind of nice hearing their voices because I miss them. But yeah, so those are some ways to submit assignments. So that was Monday's reading assignment. Let me go through. So then Tuesdays, and then it'll come up here and it'll say complete. So once you have submitted, then you're done with that. It's complete. This was Tuesdays. Now Tuesdays was an I Ready lesson. So complete the teacher assigned lessons, determine word meanings using context clues 1. Now this is assigned on Tuesday, but I give the kids all week to do it. So I'm assigning this today, but it is not due until Friday, March 27th. Because I know, internet can be sketchy, and sometimes just sitting down and doing a whole lesson for 45 minutes is kind of tough. So I give them all week to do it. So here's a link here that they can go to iReady, and then it'll bring them right to the login. They know their username and password because we use this in school twice a week. So they're really good at logging into this on their own. And then they'll just complete their 45 minutes. Once they've completed their 45 minutes, they can go over here to submit assignment. They can type, I finished my 45 minutes of I Ready or something like that. And then they can submit. And then that's how I'll see that they did the assignment. I can go in and check on already, but I'm trying to get us comfortable with using Schoology, submitting things, that kind of thing. So if we go back here, so now today was Wednesday, so this is today's assignment. So there are 2 things here that the student had to do. So this one was a writing assignment. Imagine you are a tree. Using information from a tree is growing. Write a paragraph explaining how you live and grow. Please type your answer as a submission on the right side of the screen. So here, I wanted them to type a submission. So they went over here. And then you would go to create. You would type your paragraph. And then you would click submit. Okay, and then that's how you would submit that one. Now, there was a second thing in the Wednesday folder. This is a comprehension exit ticket for the story. So when this comes up, they just click start new attempt. They have 1 attempt. And then these are questions. They can use their book to answer. So if they want to bring up their reading book in another tab, they can do that. Or if they have it at home, they can do it that way. So then it's just multiple choice, pick an answer, or some of them may require 2 answers, and then just submit it when you're done. There are 3 questions that are due, and then after they submit it, I see their submission, and then they should get a grade right away because that's automatically graded. Okay, so that's everything up until today in English, language arts. So Monday was pink, Tuesday was orange, Wednesday was yellow. So let's go to math. And since today's Wednesday, let's look for the yellow folder in math. So it's important to check all your courses from me for that color folder. So here's the one for today for math. So this was fractions on a number line, Khan Academy. So I asked the kids to watch the video on Khan Academy about fractions on a number line and complete all the practice questions on Khan Academy. So they would have to go here to this link. This is going to bring up the video in Khan Academy. And then they would watch the video here. And then after they watch the video, these are the practices that are over here on this side. So which point is at 2, 6 on the number line, A, B, C, or D? They would choose the answer. And then go down to check. There are 4 problems here. So they just go kind of down the side in the order, watch the videos, and do the practice. And then that was math for today. So once they finish that assignment, go over here to submit assignment. Again, they can type or they can audio record. They can type, I finished my Khan Academy lesson, and then they can submit that. So then math would be done for today. So let's look at science. Okay, so science, math and reading, they'll have every day. Science and social studies and health, they will only have a couple times a week. So there wasn't a Wednesday assignment for science, so they don't have to do one for science today. I think there may be one for social studies. If not, I know there's one for health. Yeah. Okay, so here's one for social studies for Wednesday. So again, I looked for the yellow folder. So if I click here, this was just watching a video on West Virginia timber. So again, they click here. That will bring up a YouTube video to the video I wanted them to see. And then they can go over here to submit assignment and say, I watched the video on YouTube, and then I know that they completed their assignment. Now if we go to health, I think there was also a health one for today. Yep, right here. So this was Wednesday. This is Kids Invent Lego Hand Washer. So their assignment is, please watch the video Kids Invent Lego Hand Washer. If you could invent something to help the world right now, what would it be and why? To submit this assignment, type at least 2 sentences. So they would watch the video on the Kids Invent Lego Hand Washer. This will take them to a YouTube link, a video. And then once they watch that, they can come back to Schoology over here, submit the assignment, and they need to type at least 2 sentences here. An invention that they would create now to help the world. Okay, then once they type their 2 sentences, they can submit it, and then that one would be done. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much everything I had to share with you. Their grades, I'm really not using the grade book on Schoology. I'll still be using live grades, putting their grades in and that kind of thing. But I mean, that's the most important thing to know, is just pay attention to my daily updates on what color folder we're looking for. Go into each class and look for that color folder. Now, if you're in another 3rd grade class, I know that your teacher, Mrs. Cool, Mrs. Adkins, Mrs. Coulter, have organized them by color, but they may not be the same as mine. But just pay attention to their updates, because they're posting updates too, so they'll let you know. And another thing is, if you have another teacher like Mrs. Stark or Mrs. Dotson, their English and math may not be set up that way. So you may want to contact them, or just go in and try to follow their directions. Our 3rd grade team has tried to set this up so it's the most organized and the most easily accessible for the students and the parents. So we've really tried to think about how we can make this easy. We know this is new for everybody. It's new for us. So we're just trying our best. But I hope this helps. And I will also be sending you one on how to access and submit things on an iPad in a little bit. But thanks so much for listening. I hope this helps.